It's on.
Alright, good. Alright. Do you guys ever go out to eat and become anxious about how much you're going to have to leave at the end of the night for your server? You've already spent so much money on your dinner, you don't want to add so much more of an expense on the end of your meal. But you also don't want to make your server upset by not leaving enough. Well, what if we didn't have to worry about this? What if we just cut out tipping in the US in general? It would create a more comfortable experience for the customers and a more comfortable experience for the servers. Tipping is something that causes stress for the servers throughout the night. They don't really know how much they're going to be making depending on the tables they're getting or how many people they're serving or just like the amount of people that are going to come in that day. So this makes them rely on their customers for tips for their income. It's actually legal for the restaurant to pay the servers as little as $2 an hour. So this is really putting pressure on the customers to make sure they give enough money for the servers to make enough money. This is why I believe that the employer should be responsible for supplying the income for the employees. It puts less pressure on the customer and it makes the server more comfortable throughout the night. They don't have to stress out about all of these tables that are coming in and if they're going to get enough tables. There's actually a restaurant in Seattle called Either Seafood that wanted to test out this policy. They wanted to make a more comfortable environment for their customers and for the servers, and they wanted their servers to be more focused on making sure all of the customers were comfortable and were enjoying their food, than focusing more on getting more tables and making sure they're making enough money. So they noticed that the customers were enjoying everything, the servers were getting direct income, and they actually received benefits. They noticed a more common ground for the entire workplace because when you're being tipped, the majority of the tips are going to the servers and the people working in the front. Usually the kitchen isn't getting tipped out, and that's also contributing to the experience for the customers. So whenever they're getting direct income, there is more equal common ground throughout the restaurant. So what if you're just not receiving good service anymore because you can't tip them based off their service? Well, they can get fired for not being a good server also. Since their employer is now responsible for all of their income and how much they're making, if they're not being a good employee or they're not being a good enough server, they could still lose their job. So overall, if we don't do anything, we just keep it the way it is, we'll just be stuck in a circle of having uncomfortable experiences of how much we're tipping our server and having a lot of like mad servers because they had a bad night or they're working really hard, but sometimes how hard they're working isn't really showing in how much they're making. So if we do change this policy, our servers can be more comfortable in their work environment and they can be more focused on how the customers are experiencing everything, and the customers will be able to actually enjoy their time and not have to worry about the service they're getting and more on just enjoying the food and not worrying about if they're being treated equally or not. So there's actually a video on this restaurant in New York that changed their policy and how they thought it affected their company. Go pull up. And Hershey's Cocoa Kisses.
What's good, what's too much, and can you do math in your head at the table? Well, one Glendale restaurant is taking the guesswork out of dining out. Carrigan Rachel Kim is live in Glendale with a tip about a no-tipping eatery. Rachel.
Well, Sylvia, the no-tipping policy is common in Europe, but not so much here in the United States. Well, the owner here at Brand 158 says it's paying off for him, his employees, and his customers.
Have you dined with us before?
Actually, no, I haven't. First-time customers at Brand 158 restaurant are finding out that after their meals and drinks, there's no need to do the usual calculations. It's on the menu and on the receipt. No
suffered. Employees are happy. The prices speak for themselves.
Owner Gabriel Friend tells us the employees are paid higher wages because of the no tipping policy.
The employees, once they know what they're making and they can stabilize their lives, they can focus on our customers' experience.
Friend says in the 3.5 months they've been in business, they've been profitable without sacrificing the quality of their food, raising prices, or tacking on a service charge.
Is pay a few people a living wage and running your infrastructure and your logistics in a way that is effective. We have people who, during downtime, can do tasks that would otherwise require the services of a third party.
Bartender Christy Kyriakos believes in the no tipping policy because she can count on a stable paycheck and less stress on the job.
I know that I can just be myself and be at ease with the customer, and I'm not trying to make some money off of them, you know, it's good.
Most of us are going to inherently feel that we're a little cheap if we don't leave something on the side.
Cash payments are also discouraged for sanitary reasons. But if you have to pay with cash, a manager uses these bins to transport the money so no one serving actually touches it.
It's not about germs and being germophobic as much as it's about respecting the client.
Friend tells us he has about 40 employees. Most of them are full-time. They do have health insurance and benefits. Reporting live tonight in Glendale, Rachel Kim, KCAL 9 News.
So why this was a topic I brought up and thought was interesting was because I'm a hostess at Ocean 60. Sorry. I'm a hostess at Ocean 60 in Atlantic Beach, and I'm responsible for assigning servers to their tables and making sure that they have equal head counts and making sure that's an equal playground for all of the waiters and waitresses. So I just see all the time, like throughout the week, how stressed out they are when we're really slow, or how upset they'll get because they didn't get a 10 top and someone else got a 2 top. And it just makes for a very stressful environment when it could just be a lot more, we all work together to make sure that the customers are having a good experience, not just, I'm trying to make a lot of money. So a way you can take action is actually there's a petition online to start having no tipping policies in Florida. A server from a restaurant started it, and if you wanted to sign it, I could just like email it to you if you wanted it. So if there's any questions. Also these are my references for all of my information. I use the United States Department of Labor for the wages and everything, and it's all credible. So if there's any questions, I have to report 2 minutes of questions. What do you think?
Being a server, yeah. I've never been a server. I don't know.
Yeah, I've like refused to ever serve because I don't want to rely on tips.
In a way, it's good. In a way, you know, sometimes some days you can make a whole lot more money than you can other days. So it's just kind of just according, you know, to in where it's at too. Because certain places do pay more plus the tips on them. So it's just
Is that good or bad? I mean, would you rather it be consistent, you made the same set wage, and you knew exactly predictable income and what you would make?
well, that's what we do. Because we do host as well, so that we make the same amount. We don't get tips from the servers. What the servers that where I work at, what they make is what goes to them. We don't have to tip it out to no one else. So it's just according, again, to where they're working at. If I was working at a place where I did have to give my tips to somebody else, then yeah, this would be really good. But if it's to a place where it's just mine, then like where I'm at now, then I wouldn't feel as good about doing that. So it's
Yeah.
just a,
Yeah, my work, the servers, they have to tip out, and they like split their tips based on their sales and stuff.
let's say I don't, because I work at Crackle Barrel, we have the host and the, like the to-go people, they get the same, like they get a pay. And then the waiters or the servers, they get, like, they do pay like almost $6 an hour plus the tip. So it is not, it's a little bit better. It's a Crackle Barrel, so it's a little bit better than in some places where you don't make it does only pay $2 and some places only pay $1.50.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just according again where you're working at, on whether it's good or not.
Does this pertain to just restaurants or?
Yeah, I put it
everywhere?
on just restaurants, cause, I mean, I know there's like ballet and like, there's, you go to, I don't know,
Nail salon.
nail
Yeah,
salons
hair
and
salon,
stuff.
everybody
They do that?
expects a tip.
Nail
Yeah.
salons?
Yeah.
Everybody gets tipped.
Oh, yeah, to do
They
nails.
pay
and-
$1.50 an hour.
Oh,
Well,
no,
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 it's
no.
mainly because,
No.
on restaurants, because they get paid so little
Yeah.
hourly, the most
Yeah.
of their income is coming from like tips. Whereas like,
And then what is tip out? You said tip out.
they have, so there's like, at my restaurant, there's, back weights, meaning people that just like bust the tables and stuff for the waiters and waitresses. And then there's bartenders, and sometimes, a lot of times, the waiters and waitresses are helping each other out. So it's like, they basically just split the tips equally.
Yeah, so like if you work in
Steve,
the.
you did all the work, you have to split it with everyone else.
That's what I mean, that would be good to do that if,
In that
it was in that situation, but in mine, where I'm at now, we get paid a higher wage plus of our tips. So that, and people come in and specifically ask for certain servers sometimes and this and that, so you have to, that wouldn't be as good there, but it would be where she works at, cause I wouldn't wanna be giving away what I made to somebody else.
Yeah.
No.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone. That was really like rough, and I'm glad I got through it.